everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about smoking and how I plan on quitting, and why I'm quitting. I'm sure that's obvious. There are lots of reasons to quit, but let's just get right into the video. Alright, so I've been a smoker now for about 26 years. That's crazy. When I did the math the other day, I had to count, and I'm like, wait, is that true? Yeah, it's true. I'm about to be 38, and I picked up my first cigarette when I was about 12 years old. My friend and I, back then we didn't have always the resources or the know-it-all to get cigarettes. So we would, if we saw someone smoking and they would drop their cigarettes to the ground. This is really disgusting, really gross now that I think about it, but we were 12 and we were really curious about cigarettes, so we would pick up people's cigarettes once they had thrown them to the ground. God, we could have gotten a disease or something. Anyway, but we did that, and then eventually we would go to the corner store, and even at 12 they would be like, oh, how old are you? And we'd say, oh, we're 18, we're legal. And they'd say, oh, okay, here you go, little girls. Here's a pack of cigarettes. And back then it was $2.10, so we would, between the two of us, of course, be able to come up with that amount. But anyway, it's been 26 years now, and the reason that I've been smoking on and off for so long, initially especially, it was because of the social aspect. Although I'm somewhat of an outgoing person when I get to know you, I'm a little bit gun shy in the beginning to introduce myself or whatever, and so it was much easier, especially in college, in my 20s. If I would buy a pack of cigarettes, I would go outside with the smokers, and ultimately we would strike up a conversation, and that's kind of how I met people back then, or how I was got the courage to talk to people. And then as the years went on, it just, of course, became this bad habit. And I've been not a consistent smoker over the 26 years. I've quit for sometimes years at a time and then gone back and forth. And lately, the reason I picked it up again, because I had stopped for a little bit, not too long. I don't think I've ever stopped for more than a year. But the reason I picked it up again was, excuses, of course, looking for an outlet, because I was really stressed out, and again, recently moving home, it was just really stressful, so I'm oh, I need a cigarette. Of course, I use that, but that's obviously not conducive to what I want to do, which is get pregnant and have a healthy pregnancy. It's obviously also really horrible for your body. It's toxic and cancerous. So it is long overdue. It's time to stop the madness. And for me, honestly, quitting, besides the physical, I think for me the physical, yeah, it's really intense the first week or so, but then after that I'm usually fine. It's more of a psychological game. Really, I need to think about finding different ways of relieving stress and not using cigarettes as my only means of doing that. So that's going to be the challenge for me, not the physical part, but the mental part. But now that I'm starting to take steps, I had my midwife appointment, I'm about to schedule an appointment with a fertility doctor. It's just, time to quit and really focus on my goal, which is to become a mother. And I really don't want to be a bad influence for my child, and I also don't want to risk the chance of developing cancer because of something that I did to myself, that I did to my body, and then have my child sort of suffer those consequences because of my bad choices. So anyway, I guess I'll share with you over the next few months how I'm doing and how I'm going about it. So, but before I end the video, I guess I should share with you some of my strategies. Some people say it's better not to tell anyone that you're trying to quit, but I've shared it with my coworkers and just friends that I have through work, because that's typically where I smoke the most, is when I'm at work. And not always because I'm stressed out, but again because of the social aspect. It's oh, I go outside, I have a friend at work, we go outside, we talk, we get a break, we get some fresh air, although how fresh can it be when you're puffing away at a cigarette. But you know, I get to go outside for a little bit and get a break from work. So I have shared with them my goal and what I plan on doing, and they are very supportive, of course, and want to see me succeed. So they're going to be a source of like support for me there. At home, I generally don't smoke, although lately it's become sort of a bad habit that in the car and every now and then when I'm actually physically home, I will like step outside and have a cigarette, which is really bad. So the cigarette you saw me smoke will be like the last cigarette that I have, and I'm not gonna say hopefully, I'm going to say for sure, because it's just time to end the madness. So if you have any suggestions, what's worked for you, I really don't want to do the patch. I've done that before and it's given me like it's not good for me. It's I don't know, it makes me nauseous, it makes me dizzy, and every now and then I would forget to take it off and I'd have really bad nightmares. I guess I could maybe try the gum just for the initial physical cravings, but again, for me, I can get through the physical stuff. I've done that before. It's more of the mental part. So if you've quit before, like how have you overcome the sort of mental game of smoking cessation? Look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time. Bye.